Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on. We can kind of see this slight, I don't even want to use the word bullish right now, but potential bullish backtest of this descending type of trend here for that rising wedge breakout. While it wasn't monumental, the price did come up to about that 98,700, 98.8. And obviously rejected and pulled back since then. But we've been maintaining this range of roughly 97.5 for the last 24 hours. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Most altcoins are laying down right now, with Bitcoin dominance on the rise, essentially just kind of telling us that altcoins are hemorrhaging here today. I wouldn't say terrible, kind of natural pullbacks, but it's very uneventful to say the least. But it's pretty much par for the course, right? We see this pump on a Friday, big surprise. Things come down on a Saturday and a Sunday. It's kind of a common occurrence. We're starting to see that theme occur more often. However, there's random times too where we have a nice, strong green day on Friday, and Saturday, Sunday continues to pump. Although we don't see that too often anymore, that is still a possibility. Anyways, I'm not proposing by any stretch we're going to see a pump this weekend. Just letting you know, we're going to take a quick look at the macro and the overall sentiment here for Bitcoin. Get some perspective on just kind of what's going on with the back-end data here, right? Because again, altcoins kind of pulling back, Bitcoin going sideways. Not a great look for altcoins. It's a decent chance we see further downside for altcoins this weekend, just based on the simple fact that, well, Bitcoin's going sideways and alts are dumping. It's basically just that natural, that pullback that occurs when all the, the greed comes through here, and there's a lot of profit to be taken because altcoins pumped yesterday. So having said that, we take a look here. We can see 99,000 to 100,000 as per usual. That key level resistance based on liquidation. I'm not proposing that we're going to see that retested immediately, but we are essentially establishing higher highs and higher lows still. So those are very positive signs, things that we want to look for, generally with trend continuation. So we don't have any trend reversals here, nothing kind of telling us that's going to happen. Again, I'm just looking on the back-end data here. The charts may tell us a different story, but higher highs and higher lows are something to pay attention to and recognize that, it's a very positive sign overall, okay? Now, what we want to reference is the volume too, because volume has a lot to do with maintaining price points. Weekends can be very flawed though, that's the problem. Volume kind of dries up on the weekends for the most part, so we don't really get an accurate gauge, so we kind of got to guess. It's kind of almost guesswork on the weekends. So again, the overall thing that's beneficial I've noticed in trends is whatever trend is established on a Saturday, that's going to probably continue on through Sunday. So wouldn't be surprised if we see altcoins continue to just kind of bleed out for the rest of the weekend. We take a look here. We can see liquidation delta is effectively right there at about 4 billion, kind of just plateaued here. As you can see, whole lot of nothing for the last 24 hours roughly since we hit this level yesterday. Same thing here as well. When we take a look here, we can see open interest implying 98,000 is somewhat of a resistance range. We've known that for a while. And what do you know, 96,000, that lower support range. So again, our current range right now is 95 to 98,000 with these aggressive candle wicks to the upside and downside to wipe any late longs and shorts, okay? So again, all the more reason to not use leverage that's too high. Anything over, if honestly 10x leverage is too high. I only 10x leverage Bitcoin just because of how its specific price action. I feel comfortable doing that. Everything else is 5x. So try not to get too crazy and think that you're special because you use a 17x leverage or something. The higher the risk, the higher the leverage, the higher the risk. And again, that may work for some people, but longevity, it's not really the easiest way to maintain a healthy green portfolio, right? You're probably seeing a lot of ebbs and flows. Okay, so let's take a look here at the daily time frame. Recognizing this, just to kind of reiterate, we got that confluence at about 98.7. Look at that here. Price action wicks up perfectly to this 50 and the 20-day SMA, 0.5 fib level. A lot of resistance just naturally at that range. Okay, now you got to keep this in mind. We've retested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times this $98,000 range, but we've also conversely tested 95,000 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, right? So it's getting kind of ridiculous here. I don't know why we're stuck in this little range, but the longer we spend here, the more likely we are to break out soon, okay? So again, good news is we're establishing higher highs and higher lows leading into this, and that's generally favorable. But by no means do we have any continuation potential here. While stochastic is swinging up and MACD's trying to converge, there's still not a firm indication we're in good shape here. Okay, so 4-hour time frame, when we take a look here, we can recognize we're over a 50-day and the 20-day SMA. We're going to double check a couple of other things too here. We can recognize 97.6 is that local point of control. We're right there at that level, okay? So we're kind of squeezing into this little range here. So overall, not the best trading conditions to trade. Honestly, I'd prefer just to kind of sit on the sidelines and wait for a direction to be established. But once more, if I talked previously about this, closing above 98,000 would be a big deal, and we're not quite there yet. 98.5 would be preferred. We can see a lot of resistance here at this current range. Okay, so I'll update our playout chart to reflect this, so you can kind of see that that's available on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. But on the 4-hour time frame, we have slightly favorable conditions. In other words, we're over 50 on the RSI. 4-hour, money flow index is increasing. Stochastic swinging up. MACD still converging for the most part. So these are mostly favorable signs, letting us know that further upside would make sense. The problem that we're running into, though, and you may not be able to see it very well, but the volume is pretty low. Okay, and again, that's par for the course on a weekend. So again, these kind of conditions leading into a weekend leads me to believe we may see somewhat of a pullback, a little bit more further of a pullback, just because that's how market makers are. They like to shake things up and secure profits, get everyone to kind of buy into this whole fear situation now that we have a quote unquote greedy last 24 hours, right? Either way, again, higher highs, higher lows, that's generally a good sign. But once more, too many conflicting situations here, right? When you have a convergence here and a divergence there, like everything's kind of like you're getting ups and downs at the same time. It's best to just avoid trading, right? You shouldn't be looking at the charts right now to try to find one little outlier that tells you should take a trade. You're convincing yourself to take a trade, you're forcing a trade. Most other novice traders will do that. In fact, from what I understand from my community, majority of other influencers do that too, right? So at this point, the best trade is no trade. Just hang out, wait for a direction to be established. And generally speaking, this being a weekend, also another reason to not really, it shouldn't incentivize you to want to trade, okay? I know probably your day off, having a good time, but it's not a good time to lose money. And there's no point in taking a trade that we don't really know which direction it's going to head. At least for the most part, we don't have like an inclination of which direction it should continue. Higher highs and higher lows are nice, but this is like a 55% probability of further upside, right? Not really the best conditions on a weekend. Even more so, specifically because it's a weekend. Okay, cool. Anyways, I've beat that dead horse, apologize, but I like to kind of reiterate and reaffirm things multiple times in my videos, because people will try to fast forward to the end, or perhaps just like have selective hearing. It's really common in this environment here, but I would err on the side of caution and probably just hang tight for a little bit and watch this one go by, right? You're not missing much at all. Cool. All right, that's what we got for Bitcoin. Awesome weekend, right? Typical Saturday stuff here. I look forward to working with you if you want to become a better trader again. CryptoCash.tech is a site link down below. And I want to say thank you so much again to those who are an amazing part of my life. We got a lot more people hitting the like buttons now, which is actually fantastic. Some people hitting it twice. Keep in mind that might actually deselect your like if you do it twice. But either way, I get the analogy there. Appreciate you. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.